Hey everyone, so today I decided to talk to you about my favorite brushes that I use all the time. Now you guys sometimes see me like use brushes or even just ask me what type of brush should I use for this or what do you use that brush for. So today I'll talk to you about some of my favorite brushes. I have about like 10, something like that. But let's move on to my face brushes. You have to excuse me because some of them are dirty because I just recorded this tutorial over here. But this first brush is from Real Technique, and it's the Expert Face Brush, and it's a rounded sort of kabuki buffing brush. I use this to apply bases before I do any sort of foundation or whatsoever. It could be moisturizer or a primer. I often, like 90% of the time, use this to kind of buff it in. So this brush, this is what I use it for. Next you have the another big fluffy brush. I have 3 of these. One is to bronze. I love just like putting this, like let's say in my Chanel bronze, just lightly like this and just go over the face. I love it because it's light and you're not going to apply a big quantity of product. It's not going to look muddy. So that's what I use it for. And of course too much caffeine, people. I also use it for just regular powder all over like the T-zone or things of that nature. From time to time I will use it as contour too if I need like a big drag contour. But yeah, I love this brush, and this brush is called the Blush Brush from Real Techniques. Next, let's move on to the contour. Now, my all-time favorite was this little bdelium tools, which is the number 942. Now, this one looks very small because it's brand new, but once you use it more often, it will like kind of get a little bit bigger and more used, and you're able to get a very nice contour with this. I usually contour around the hairline and like this, a little bit around the jawline over here, and I love this. Now that I have like 4 of these, I also use this as blush. I love it because it's going to give you like a contour blush as well. And my other one, I use it also as a highlighter brush. So bdelium tools, I love this brush. Not a fan of all of their brushes, but this one is like one of my all-time favorite. Now, the last time I went to an IMATS is what it was in Toronto, and I came across this brush over here that Sukulim79 showed me. This is an angled brush from Stilazzi, and I love this. It's very like compact and very dense, so it's going to give you a very nice contour. Now this I only use as contour. You could use it as blush too, but myself I use it just for contour. So now I have like, which one do I take? But yeah, nowadays I reach for this one because it's a little bit bigger than this, and it helps you get right in there and do the job perfectly. Now let's move on to my favorite brush of all time. Maybe it's because it cost me a little bit expensive money, girl, but it is my Hakahudo brush. The number is, if I can find it, S110. Now I only use this as highlight, but you could use this as blush. As you can see right over here, excuse me, it's dirty, it's fluffy, it's like a Bambi like tail, but I use it as highlight only because it's so like precious and beautiful. I don't want to like dirty it up too much, you know what I mean? So Hakahudo brush, this one for my highlight is a divine. I love it, and I've never felt, you know, a lot of people say, oh, this brush is like so soft and blah blah, but of course all brushes are going to be soft when you get them, but this I've washed many times, and it's still the softest brush I've ever encountered. And the shape is very nice too. Even if you wash it, it's still like, it keeps its like fluffiness and it's shaped. It hasn't shed whatsoever. So yeah, it is somewhat expensive. I think I paid like $68, but I think it's a great investment, to be honest. Next, for my face, what I love on myself when I apply concealer underneath the eyes, especially if a concealer is more fluid than creamy, I use this over here, and this is the pointed foundation brush. So what I do for myself is usually go in my liquid concealer. I use the Pro Longwear from MAC, and go right underneath and just create a triangle with it. Go out, feather it out. And then after I go and soften the edges. So this is what I use it for. This would definitely be too long to apply foundation. So concealer, this is like, I need more of these. Like, to be honest, I love this. This is flaw free. And it's so thin also on the other side that I usually apply concealer here, here, a little bit on the chin, and Cupid's bow. So it kind of acts as a highlight as well. So I love this brush. After, of course, you apply concealer, you need to powder. So what better brush to powder the under eye area with this Real Techniques setting brush. And this is beautiful because it fits just so nicely underneath the eye once again. So usually I take loose powder, like a lot of loose powder, and I just press it down just like that and let it cook for a while. And then after, I could use, let's say, this big fluffy brush and just remove the excess with it. So this is probably the only thing I use it for, to, like, you know, remove the excess or just apply loose powder. I love this to death. Or I love it when I'm on a shoot. I have it like handy. Instead of having like a big brush like this and you're just going like this on your model or your client, you have something smaller, so you know it's like less invasive, if that makes any sense. So I love this. After, you have another brush that I love because it's a fluffy brush from Real Techniques, and this is called the Base Shadow Brush. But I use this as a blending brush, to be honest. So usually into the crease, I go right in there and I just blend, 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 blend. That's all I use it for. I love it because on one side it's more narrow and on the other side it's more fluffy. Next, a lot of people ask me how I contour my nose. Now, everybody could use different type of brush, but what I use to contour my nose is, believe it or not, but a big old fluffy brush. Now, it's all how you use it. Usually I just put it in my contour powder and I just go like this at an angle, and I just very, very lightly go on the side of the bridge of the nose and just blend down the shadow, so it gives you more of a straighter nose and more narrow, of course. Some people like to use stiff flat brushes, but I like this because this is going to give you more of a like natural finish. If you use a stiff flat brush, it's going to give you more of a harsher line. So that's what I use it for. There's a lot of ways to contour your nose, but this is the tool that I use to contour mine. I also go underneath my bottom lip to kind of create a little bit more shadow, so it creates more fullness to the lips. But yeah, I've been doing this maybe for the past 6 months. I've been defining my brows. What I mean is, after I filled in my brows, I go in my concealer and I use this brush, which is the detailer brush right over here. So a little bit of concealer, and I go right underneath my brow with the concealer and just create a very, very sharp edge. Some people like to go all around the brow, but it's not my cup of tea. But I love doing that because it gives you just the perfect, like, crisp line. And that's basically what, like, the only thing I use it for. You could also use this though as a lip brush. This would be like a beautiful lip brush, synthetic, so no problem washing it whatsoever. Now, talking about lip brush, my favorite lip brush is from Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics, and it looks very, very like simple and nothing special to it, but it's the lip brush that kind of like kept its shape, and the hairs are like long enough so that you can like move around and create a little bit of shape around your lips. So that's my go-to lip brush. Next, my favorite angle brush that I use all the time, and I need to get more because I use it for like a lot of purpose. So this is my angle brush. Usually, if I do, as you guys seen in my videos, usually I deposit black eyeshadow on my the root of my lashes. So yeah, or as a liner brush, I love this. But the main reason why I adore this is I fill in my brows with this. So it's just perfect. I don't know why it kept its shape after like couple of years, and I just love it. This is from Lauren Luke, by the way. So Lauren Luke has a lot of brushes, but this is definitely my all-time favorite for brows. My favorite blush brush ever, but mine has been like falling to pieces. I don't know why, but it's a MAC. The number is rubbed off, but I know MAC just released another one for the Christmas collection, which comes in a kit, and it's like over $100. And MAC, you're stupid. I'm never gonna pay that ever. But I wish I had another brush like this, because this one has been shedding. Every time I wash it, it sheds, and it lost a little bit of its shape. As you can see, like on the top, it's more like straight here and like narrow there. But I love this as a blush brush. It's a paddle brush, by the way, from MAC, and I just apply the blush like this, and it just fits right into the cheek, like underneath the cheekbone, and it just feels so beautifully. But this, I do wish I had another one like this. If you guys know any other company that's not too expensive that has a blush brush like this, or simply like a paddle brush, please let me know, because I've been dying, and this one is so like beat up that it's starting to like not to kind of do the job properly anymore. So I'll have to kind of like retire this one, but this is my favorite blush brush ever. So yeah guys, these were my favorite brushes. Now of course there's other brushes like stiff flat brush to apply eyeshadow, but these are really the brush that I cannot live without. Like I need these to beat my models' faces, my clients' faces. I need all of these. If I don't have these, I'll cry and make a fool out of myself. But yeah, so I showed you my favorite brushes. This was very quick. Hopefully I've answered some of your questions, and of course if you have more questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. So yeah, that's basically it, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!